Hey everybody, Jason Shadrick here with PremierGuitar.com, and we are on stage, Chicago Theater, with Bob 1 and Bob 2 from Devo.
Hello.
And they are finishing up their tour with Blondie here tonight. And so we are going to take a look at the guitars that you guys brought out on this tour and how you guys are getting your sound. So first, let's start with Bob 1.
Yeah.
Let's pull out the first guitar you have here.
All right. First guitar is brand new. Chopped guitars made this, or chopper guitars made this for me. It's a Stratocaster Bob 1. You can even see it even says Stratocaster Bob 1. And it says Devo too.
And what pickup do you have in this guitar?
I believe it's a DiMarzio PAF style.
Now, do you still take the blue Ibanez out on the road, or is this kind of to replace that?
Well, I don't take the blue Ibanez out. It's kind of an antique, and it weighs about 40 pounds. When we did the album recreation for Freedom of Choice, I did bring it out, but I prefer to like keep it locked up somewhere in LA, which I won't tell you where. But somebody a couple months ago said we could do a better spud guitar than that blue Ibanez. So I said, okay, show me. And this is what they came up with. It's very, you know, stripped down.
What's the body made out of?
Some kind of light wood. Feels like plastic on the back, but they claim it's a light wood. They didn't want it to be as heavy as the Ibanez.
Is it better?
Got some issues. Look how they mounted the strap on the back. They said because it won't sit in a guitar stand, they did this thing where they have this, and this, making a triangle that you can lay the guitar down flat on the ground. But right now, these are hitting me in the body. I have to move the straps further apart. We just haven't had time to modify it.
So it's like a first draft then?
Yeah, well, it's probably the only draft, but we're going to do some revisions.
And what songs in the set do you usually play this on?
I bring it out at the end of the set when, doesn't matter if we get a little sloppy, the encore stuff. Or when I break a string on the next guitar I'll show you about. This is my new favorite guitar. I've had it for about 3.5 years. It's a Les Paul. They were famous in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Then they started to not be famous, but they're popular. It's the Mike Bloomfield edition. You'll notice there's stuff like 3 different kind of knobs, but it was the first time I ever picked up a Les Paul in a music store and said, hey, this one's nice.
And it's stock? You haven't changed anything on it?
I haven't changed anything yet. It plays real good, it sounds amazing, and it's just a lot of fun.
So that's your main guitar for most of the set every night?
Yeah.
And what strings do you have on your guitars here?
I'm using 9s. I always used to use 10s, but I cut my thumb a couple years ago. And since then I've gotten a little lazy, and I find that 9s are more forgiving. Oh, it's a Buzz Featon. Buzz made it for me. It's probably about the number 003. It would be if he had put serial numbers in it, that's what it would be. Third one he made. He's starting a fledgling company. It's kind of unique because it's got a humbucker and a telly in the neck position.
And what's the extra switch down here for?
It's a boost.
Okay.
But which is very odd because there's no batteries in it. It's
Passive?
It's all passive. But I don't know, you know, it's like he's some kind of mad genius that you can actually hit it and you get a boost.
And how often do you bring this one out, on what tunes maybe?
Last tour I used it for half of the set. This tour, because I've got the potato, it's like now I got 3 road guitars I'm juggling. I like to stick with one guitar when I'm playing live. As long as it's in tune, I'll just keep going.
All right, what else do you have next?
One more. This is you know what these are. This is a 2x4 La Bay. And this one, it's been modified. I put in a G&L pickup because when I first was using this, I had a couple G&L SC2s that were my other stage guitars, so I wanted this one to sound kind of like it. Plus the pickups that were on it were atrocious. Now it's been hurt a lot. You can see we've got this thing taped on. We've got the selector switch is gone, it's taped over. And the headstock, I used to throw the guitar a lot, but it cracked right up here at Lollapalooza. It's actually on YouTube, a good video of me throwing the guitar back towards the guitar roadie, but missing him and knocking the top off of my Marshall.
And how long have you had this guitar? Does this go back to the old days?
No, it doesn't. I've gone through about 3 of these, broken or stolen. This one I've had since about 94, 95. It's the workhorse. It's the Mr. DNA guitar.
And then what songs or what part of the set do you use pull this one out for?
Mr. DNA. That's why it's the Mr. DNA guitar. And I'm going to have to turn you over to Bob too.
Well, this is easy because 99% of the time I use this one that Ibanez made for me. As you see, it's either Christmas or Casino. It's up to you.
Bob was allowed to design that himself.
Yes, without any interference.
So what things were you looking for when you designed this guitar?
Beautifulness.
That's important.
Oh yeah. But no, since I play rhythm just about all the time, it's like I wanted a good solid fat sound. And this particular model they did really sounds like that. The Talman, yeah. And I love the way it looks. So
That's good. And what's
and the other one's another Talman with a whammy bar. Doesn't get much attention.
Okay, that's just mainly a backup in case you break a string?
Case.
So why does that one have a whammy bar and that one does not?
When we went down to the Ibanez offices, they said we could pick one off the wall and design one.
Oh.
So the silver one he picked off the wall. It was the only one that didn't have lipstick pickups.
Yes.
And he wanted humbuckers.
So what's the story with the clear straps?
Oh, well, we were doing a video and we had print here on our clothes, and if you wear a strap, it covers up half the print. So we had, Bob, you found them, right? Clear straps?
Japan. They're from Japan.
And
They're from
why we did it, because you could read right through it.
Japan. Japan.
The country.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys don't have any amps on stage, so your whole signals are going through this rack over here, these Axe effects. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what sounds you're using and why this is better for you than a typical amp setup on stage?
The sounds we're using are confidential. We're not going to tell you what sounds.
Just have to hear them.
Yeah, you can hear them, but we're not going to give away any secrets there. But we are using the Fractal Audio Systems Axe effects. I also use Tube Screamer when I pull out the 2x4. It needs a little extra screaming, so that's how I work that out. And it just goes to the board and into a pair of monitors I have, one in front and one behind me. So I get the benefit of, it's like having 2 amps, one in front of me and one behind me.
They have a much fatter sound like an amp. We had been using the Line 6 pods, which we got some neat sounds out of, but they just didn't have that low-end resonance in them.
And you also have a foot switch out front, right? And what's that for?
Change channels, which you can't know about.
Oh, I see. So are they just the stock presets, or did you heavily modify them?
Minorly modified.
Minorly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 9,999,000 sounds, so
Right.
we spent about a month just listening to each sound.
And how many sounds do you use over the course of a night?
I use 2.
You use 2? Okay. You
use-
more than 2?
Yes.
Okay, more than
Yes,
2?
that's why you see that button up there.
3.5. There you go, 3.5. And is there a reason why Bob 1 is using an XFX Ultra and Bob 2 is an XFX 2?
Yes. Yes.
What's the reason?
Because I bought one a couple years ago, and then somebody loaned him one.
Oh. Do you find that the sounds are pretty complementary between the two?
I haven't plugged my guitar into his, so that's the only way I could compare. I can't compare with his guitar to mine.
Good idea, wouldn't it?
Maybe tonight you guys just switch,
out.
just swap out. It's only one more. It's only 1.5 more settings, right?
That's I'd be lost. I would start making mistakes on stage.
This is Jason Chadrick with the Bobs of Devo, Bob 1 and Bob 2. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Oh,
You're welcome.
welcome.
Absolutely, Bob 2. This is Jason Shadrick with PremierGuitar.com.